So what's
Very
going
good.
on?
Not really too much in my world. I'm
No, not
trying to make it, this business brokerage is, you know, I targeted at the beginning, trucking industry, which is
okay.
100% down. And
Yeah.
I had some, listings but now, I don't have nothing, honestly,
Okay.
for a
So
while. Yeah.
what else could you do that would go along the lines of that would be synergistic with trucking or logistics, where you could apply what you already know, um,
I
and
was,
kind of expand.
I kind of have, very long history. I came from Europe 29 years ago here to United States. I came from Switzerland,
Uh-huh.
but I worked, most of my life, before I came here. Even here, first 8 years, I worked in hospitality. I have degree, I studied in Croatia, hotel, restaurant, tourism management. And then
Okay.
I came to Switzerland, was during the war, whatever. And then I came here and started everything from scratch. I have hotel, restaurant, tourism management, international business, and MBA. That's all in when I came here.
Nice.
But
That's awesome.
I stepped from hospitality, restaurant industry to trucking because I wanted to do something, for myself. And I
Yeah.
did everything okay until 2 years ago. Basically, I did have misfortune, one of my buildings, was condemned
Ah.
and they tore it down. And honestly, my company from 80 trucks started just sliding back. And finally, I shut it down,
Wow.
Yes, but
So have you thought about, since you have such a great background in hospitality, have you thought about selling hotels and bed and
that's
breakfast
exactly
and
what
all of
I'm
that?
trying. I joined the group, from Arkansas. The broker DMB,
Yeah.
Denny.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just joined that group, and honestly, that would be something. I do have here a couple of parcels of land, and one of which is calling for a hotel. It's just 10 miles north from me on I-65. There is Bucky's across from street. There is no hotel. And but just 10 miles south is one of the largest industrial parks in state of Kentucky. I think second largest. So
Wow.
that's what I'm exploring now. I might,
But that's more of a development play, right? But what
yes,
about
yes.
selling existing hotels? I mean, there are
Oh, I
hotel
would love to
operators
do it.
that,
I would love to do it. I would love to do it.
yeah.
I'm
I
kind
mean,
of
maybe you
trying.
target some of the hotel owners.
Yeah, yeah. But you see, I'm so long time out of that business. I just didn't keep up. Even though I can get back fairly, quickly. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
probably so. Where are you located?
I'm in Bowling Green, Kentucky,
In Kentucky. Okay.
Corvette City. They built just 2 miles from me. It's Corvette plant.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Very good.
If you would like to buy Corvette, I can give you a tour there.
No, actually, I just got a new car, but um, yeah, Corvettes are a little low to the ground, you know.
Yes,
I,
they
I
are.
remember my ex had a Corvette, and I just remember that getting in and out of it. It's like
Mhm.
you're low on the ground. I like being a
Yes,
bit
yes.
higher up. So
But thank you anyway, for asking me, my background and everything. I was in your classes at the beginning, when you had with a gentleman from Alabama, I think. What was his name? As soon as we opened, a brokerage and the business brokerage and commercial, you
yeah,
and another gentleman, you ran weekly almost, training and
right,
everything.
right. Yeah, that was Sean, I think.
Yes, yes, I forgot his name.
Yeah. And then he moved to Arizona. I think he was in Florida originally, but then he moved to
Mm.
Arizona. So
Yes, yes,
um
but I
I
enjoyed
don't know
your
where he is now, but yeah.
business, kind of teaching and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, business brokerage, we all have to continue learning, right? Because business is dynamic and so everything changes and we have to change along with it. and how you get business deals structured and financed, and all of that changes all the time.
Mm.
Um, so, we have to try and just keep up with things to some extent. But I think, when you're selling a business, regardless of whether it's a trucking business or, or a restaurant or um, an accounting practice for that matter, a lot of times what we're really selling is the cash flow because existing buyers are looking for cash flow.
Yeah.
So even if you don't have specific background in an industry, or current background in an industry, that doesn't really mean that you're not going to be able to get the job done. Because at the end of the day, you're packaging up the business, you're targeting an audience, you're marketing to that audience. You don't have to know how to operate the business. That's not your job. You just have to
Yes.
know how to analyze and value the business so you can price it correctly, so that you can package it correctly, so that you can get it out to the appropriate target buyers and get somebody in who's willing to pay a fair value, fair market value for the business. So I think that sometimes brokers get hung up a little bit on not knowing enough about a specific industry, and it intimidates them. And I don't think it needs to, because there are always people that can help you if you reach out to them. You can always partner with somebody who has experience in that industry, or you can do research. And God, with AI now, it's so much faster and easier to research different industries. I mean, it's insane. And what used to take hours to research an industry, to come up with a list of intelligent questions so you could communicate effectively with the business owner, you know, that's a 20 or 30-minute job now instead of 4, 5, 10 hours. So very different. AI is helping with a lot of things, certainly giving us a lot of opportunities, I would say, creating a lot of opportunities.
I'm honestly attending a lot of AI, courses. And what I did, for example, I was selling one trucking company and it was in Louisville, exactly where that airplane, you know,
Yeah.
fell actually. And basically I had pictures, from the guy from original, from his backyard, and I did plug in all the numbers that I had. I had 4 years of, 5 years tax returns and everything. His, QuickBook files,
Mhm.
and I plugged it in, and I swear to God, very, very good estimate, very similar to what I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think AI is great for certain things, but one thing I can say about AI is it it just kind of reminds me of my early days with computers, kind of garbage in, garbage out. So when you're asking questions, if you don't give it all the information that it needs, you're going to get an answer that maybe okay, but maybe not. It's not always right. And then sometimes it just gives you information that's straight up wrong. So you have to be able to read it and provide additional information and dialogue with it, right? It's not just a one-time thing. You have to actually go back and forth with it to give it more information, to ask it to change tone or change, you know, whatever you're analyzing and whatever the point is. I mean, but it still saves a ton of time. Saves a lot of time. I just treat it like I would a person, an assistant. You just talk to it, and if it's not giving, you look at the results like you would an assistant. And if the results are not right or not what you were going for, then you have to explain more. And it's okay. Well, I didn't, I forgot to give you this information, so let me get that to you. And here's a document that might help, and you drag and drop that in or whatever, and then you give it more information about your objective, and then it'll give you better results. So it's kind of an iterative cycle to me, but it's very much like communicating with a person and just trying to collaborate, right? It's collaboration tool. So you're collaborating with machine language instead of with another person, but nonetheless, it's very handy tool. I'm glad it's out there because it's a lot of fun and certainly allows us to increase our productivity a lot, you know? Yeah,
And
Diane.
may I ask you a quick question about the AI? Would you recommend we use the version that professional we pay or the regular? Currently, I use the regular, but it helped me a lot. I don't know. Would you recommend we should
Well,
pay?
I have paid accounts, and part of the reason for that is
Uh,
that your paid accounts, you know, at least in ChatGPT, I have a paid account, and at the bottom of it, it says that my account is not used for training its models.
oh,
So if I'm uploading documents and things like that into it, I don't want my client's information used to train its models. Because there is, you know, I would need to redact a lot of information and do other things. So, you know, I just feel like the paid accounts are better to have for the uses that I have.
yeah.
Um, and they don't really cost that much.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's just it doesn't really cost that much. I think you know, $30 a month or something like that per user because I have a team version. I've got 4 people that on my team that accesses it. So and I think it's $30 a month per person paid annually or something like that. I can't remember. I have to go back to my last bill.
But with that pet version, you don't have to redact, right? You don't have to redact. You just upload.
Yeah, so correct. I don't feel like I have to redact as
Ah,
much because it's not going to go anywhere. It's not being used for anything other than my own
ah,
purpose. Now, tax returns, I will redact them before I put them in a data room
yes,
because buyers are going to be able to have access to that. So I want to make sure that the social security numbers and all that have been removed.
yes,
But
yes.
yeah, I don't, you know, depends on what I'm doing with them.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.